Good morning, my dear friends. Hope you are all well and doing great in your life. Uh, Today, I have decided to talk on a different topic, probably some issues that most of us are facing or we are going to face it. We all know that world is going through a massive pandemic situation through COVID-19, and the lockdown is going on in our country. It may get extended, it may not, but the post lockdown period, there may be a lot of issues which will be coming to the different professionals. Somebody may even lose their salary, somebody lose their job, or even the market will be little tougher. So the people who were doing good in the markets may or may not be able to get the same market so that they can also do the same performances. Even not only to those things, there are so many people in the professional fields, maybe in the sales domain or other domains, who are working for a very long time and they are not happy. They are little pissed off, but it is under compulsion that they are going on and going on and going on. So my dear friends, a lot of people are planning to come out from their job. Either they are being compelled to, or they are on their own choices and start some of their own workings, kind of small entrepreneurship startups. So my dear friends, that thinking is good enough, but that process is not so easy. There are various steps for through which you should initially go on, even if you are thinking on that way. So in today's video, I just wanted to tell you something about those processes through which you can think about, so that you can also start thinking something of doing your own, if at all you are being compelled to do it, or maybe you had a long dream, you had a long passion, then you have thought it, right? So the first step of getting into your own business, the first step of doing something of your own, is to have a complete clarity. Now clarity has basically three different stages: clarities of passion, clarities of skill, and clarities of demand. The niche, the passion, which is very important. We may have a lot of passions, but those passions may not be having the marketability, or there may be a lot of other niches which are there, we do not know. If we try to make them as our passions, so we can make a lot of good things in the world. As far some research has taken place, there are almost 24 niches in 4 different segments which are having a proper demand in the market, both online and the offline. So first of all, you should be very clear of your passion. If you have a passion, then you should develop it. If you don't have a passion, then you can develop a passion by going through those possible niches. Now once you developed a passion, or you know that you had a certain passion through certain niches, then you have to develop the skill. A passion without a skill can't bring money to you, can't make your business in a growing manner. So once you have a passion, clear passion, then you should have a proper skill. You have to develop your skill. Third thing is that you had a passion, you have developed the skill, but you should also know that whether there is a demand for that passion, where is the demand for that niche. Say somebody have a niche about going to the moon, something, the technology that can, or it may be something related to your body, something related to health, which will make you ready to go to the Mars or go to the moon. A fantastic passion may be, and maybe you have studied a lot to develop a skill, but do you feel that there is a demand, a hardcore demand or a mass demand from a big lot of people to know about this, to know about these courses? Probably not. So having passion, having skill, and to know the demand of your passion is very important. So that three sub parts makes the clarity part very clear, right? Once the clarity is done, the most important part is the planning. Now it is says that if you fail to plan, then probably you are planning to fail. It means if you don't do the planning properly, then you are already walking on the path in which you would fail definitely. So what are the core points of a proper and robust planning which can take you to a proper business? First of all, you have to create a good community. If you are thinking something to do offline or only online or online plus offline, then you should have minimum 1500 to 2000 ardent followers through social medias, through other medias, through one-to-one contacts also, whom you can depend, with whom you can promote your product. So that, we call it community. So you should have a proper community of minimum around 1500 to 2000 people around you. If you are going for some digital marketing, then definitely you should take some courses of digital marketing. I know a couple of courses, or very good courses, are happening online also. You should know at least how the courses are made, how the courses are placed in teachables, how the courses are sold through webinars. So it is a process. There are certain hardwares are needed, there are certain technologies are needed, there are certain softwares are needed, there are certain soft skills are needed. So unless and until you go through certain digital marketing courses, probably you cannot develop to that level. If you even if you are into some kind of a business you are planning for, maybe for example a culinary, you can make exotic foods, so you can get into that business. Parallelly, you can develop some good online courses on good food making, and maybe a niche, and the sharp niche would also help you. So parallelly having an offline business, you can also promote some courses online also. And to have it, that planning and further planning to know the digital marketing is really very very important. One of the most important thing is that, a business gives you success, but business doesn't give you success overnight. Some business takes 6 months, some takes 1 year, 2 year, 3 years also. But to be on a safer side, whenever you are starting, you should be very clear about your well-being and the well-being and the proper maintenance of your family. So if you have money of at least 2 years as a backup in your bank to take care of your and your family's basic needs, then only you should think for a venture. Because god forbid, if something wrong happens, the business doesn't take up, or maybe it may take a lot of time, then that backup money of around 2 years would actually give you the cushion, so that you won't have a headache, you won't have a tension that at the back of the head you have to take care of your family, on the other side you have to take care of business. So minimum 2 years plus backup money should be there in the bank, my dear friends, to get into the business, right? Then the third point is, we call it POC, that is proof of content. For example, like you have launched some online courses, so first and foremost you have to have a patience, you have to have a small webinar, and you have to offer that course to the market, and you have to actually wait whether there is any taker of that particular course. Maybe after a month, after 2 months, maybe 1%, 2%, 4%, 7%, 10% will come to you, approach you and buy your courses. And maybe there will be somebody who would be coming and telling you, no, agar aisa hota to main course le leta, had it been like that I would have taken it. So you have to incorporate those points into. So the proof of content, the content that you have made, the course that you have made, or the business that you are planning to make, that should have a solid proof that it has a market acceptability. So you have to give that 1 or 2 or 3 months time, depending on the kind of courses that you have made. So once that is accepted in the market, so you got a proof of content, now you are ready to go full-fledged into the business. Now the most important thing is that a continuous process is knowledge. You have to start maybe as a single person, then you would be coming to a stage called a beginner, then with the further knowledge, with the further kind of a business, a further bigger number of a follower, a bigger number of the income sources, you would become an intermediate. Then after maybe a certain period of time, people would start taking as an expert. And my dear friends, if god is there, your full efforts is there, the law of attraction had affected for had really worked it for you, and you had a proper planning, and you have a fantastic niche and sharp niche that you are catering with, maybe someday people will take you as an authority. So I just tell you one thing, a very very important thing is that it is the beginner and the intermediate people, they trade their time with the money. The experts, they trade their value with the money, and the authorities, they trade their name, fame, their brand with the money. So when we are into some kind of a business, we should always try to slowly get up from the level of the beginner, from the level of the intermediary, to the level of the experts, and to the level of the authorities. So my dear friends, those are the stages through which you would actually go through to have your business. I just give you a small example of the clarity part, like niches and sub niches. Maybe you are very good at cooking, but there are maybe a few thousands of courses on the cooking. So you have to actually, once the niche is very clear that you are into the cooking, maybe a sub niche, maybe maybe that you can make excellent food with the minimal number of minimal quantity of oil and the minimal quantity of the spices. So less oil, less spicy foods may be your sub niche. You want to have a further sub niche, maybe you have a food with the less spice and the less oil for the elderly people. So the moment you have certain niches and the sub niches, then you can actually cater to a certain level of customers. So the clarity of niche is very important. Then the development of the skill is very important. The demand understanding is so important. Unless and until you actually had caught a niche, a product, a scheme, offline or online, which has a demand in the market, you really cannot make the money into the business. The planning I told you, never forget to have a proper planning, because again I am telling you, if you fail to plan, then probably from the very first day you are planning to fail. You should have a backup money of about 2 years. I had been telling you that skill development is so important. If you are into some offline businesses, maybe parallelly you can develop some online courses and launch into the web. So for that you have to go through some online courses which are very, very important. Community building, community development is so important. You should have at least 1500 to 2000 people who are there to watch for you, and you can also place any new product, anything to them, right? POC, proof of content, so important. Unless and until you really get feel that maybe there are 10% who are buying your product online or offline, you should not really jump. You should not by that moment, you should not leave your job or whatever you are doing and straightway come into the business. You should know that maybe you are earning 50,000 rupees. Now you have at least 35 to 40,000 rupees to earn through a business. Maybe you have developed a course of 3,000 rupees and 10 people had bought it. So 30,000 is your earning. You can see that money had entered to your bank account. It is a sure proof of content, then you can get into it. And then, my dear friend, knowledge and knowledge only. You would be starting from the from the individual, then the intermediary, then the expert, and finally the authority. The moment you have the authority, you not only have a huge fan followers, you have a big business, you have a multiple source of income. The big people, the so-called successful people, they normally have 6 to 7 different multiple source of income. There are so many passive source of income available in today's scenario. It may be through writing, it may be through affiliate marketing, it may be through selling the online courses, it is definitely through your core businesses. So unless and until you take you to the level of at least an expert on an authority, probably those doors won't get open to you. So that's all. I wanted to make it very clear, the 4 different stages through which you have to really walk one at a time, and then only you should know that you can get into your own business, and then you can start it. I again, just to give you a recap, the first is a clarity, second is a proper planning, third is the proof of content, and the fourth is to increase your knowledge. My dear friend, I am pretty sure this knowledge will actually help you. If you are not thinking today, or you are not thinking till yesterday to do something, probably after seeing this video, you may think that yes, doing business, doing something of my own is quite possible. But my dear friends, it is not a magic. You have to run through these phases, only then you can go it. And trust me, by seeing my video, if at least one person would get motivated to do something of his own, I would be really happy, and I would feel that my video had really put some value addition to you. To see many such videos, I am available at my YouTube channel, Tathastu SB Learning Solutions. I am also available in Instagram and Twitter in the name of Tathastu SB. Please be with me. Hope you have liked this video, and I hope you have a great, promising and productive life ahead. Take care, always be positive, and try to develop your all the skills which are really going to be there with you and going to help you a lot. Take care. Bye.